Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Shoshana of Light Your Own Path. And today I think I'm going to give like a little life update about what's going on for me. I have been listening to the guidance, hearing the guidance, and not wanting to do what they tell me to do. Have you ever had that? You connect or you, excuse me, you pull cards, you ask a question, you are expecting an answer, but you don't necessarily get the answer that you actually want to get. So you're like, no, I'm gonna go back to ghost shuffling. I'm going to continue asking questions in a different way to see if you can influence the answer. I've done that. So right now where I am feeling not called to do any readings, to do public readings anymore. That answer came out clearly for me. And what I'm feeling called to is like to really double down and focus on learning astrology, not just the surface stuff that I know, but like really going through, learn the progressions and getting more into the aspects and all that. And I am currently in a course, an actual live course to learn that. And I'm excited about it. And what it feels like to me is my focus is really to really put more intention into being on YouTube and to share more messages, to channel more for the collective, to helping you transform and learn more and to support you more and becoming more of yourself and uncovering your true self. Because we have these ideas of who we're supposed to be, and maybe you're a different person to this group or this you're a certain way with your family, you're a certain way with your friends, you're a certain way with your coworkers, you're a certain way with yourself, you're a certain way with your partners. You have these different personalities, facades, and it's not a bad thing. But in all that you're doing, are you staying true to who you actually are at your core? Or is that changing as well? What it really feels like, I don't want to say it, but my mission is to help you, to assist you, to give you the tools to really dig deep, to uncover who you really are, for you to shine the way that you want to shine, and to live your life the way you are supposed to do that. And all these things that I have learned, tarot, crystal practitioner, Reiki, angel healing, all these things, coaching, now astrology, deepening my psychic gifts, like all those things, feel they're all coming together to really help you become a better, happier version of yourself. And it makes me nervous, to be honest. It feels like a little pressure. It feels also exciting, but then also it's like, ooh, wow, being on YouTube, focusing my efforts on YouTube, which I haven't really. It's been like, oh, I'll put a video. I've been, doing a little bit more of it, but it feels like the focus is really on stepping forward more, coming forward more, being more. And it's just so interesting. What are you feeling called to do that you're afraid to do, that you're nervous to do? Because I can't be the only one who feels like, I have a mission, I have a purpose, I have a drive, I have something that I'm feeling called to do, but you're afraid to do it. You're nervous to do it. And I truly believe that just because you're afraid, just because you're nervous, just because you feel anxiety doesn't mean that you're not to do it. It doesn't mean that it's not for you. It means being that way and then moving forward anyway. In that discomfort, in that anxiety, in that fear, in that nervousness, and still going forward. That is how you build courage. That is how you build confidence, is by moving forward and doing it anyway. And in this moment, I'm wondering, this video is more for me. Maybe it is for you, but I'm going through and sharing my thought process because it feels important to share, to let you know that the people, everyone out here has doubts, has fears, has things that they're going through that you don't know about, are having fears, are feeling anxiety, are feeling nervous, are wondering, oh my gosh, can I do this? And am I good enough to do this? And still moving forward and still going to do it in anyway. So as we continue on and as I learn more about astrology, I am just going to just share what I know in the way that I can. That's going to help you move forward in your life and for you to take it and move it and to really see yourself, to really see the amazingness that is you. Because as you have gone through your years, as you've gotten to this point, you've been through everything that you've gone through. You've made it. You're here. There's beauty in that. There is courage in that. There's power in that. There's knowledge in that. That no matter what you've been through or even going through, you've still made it. You're still here. Congratulate yourself for that. Acknowledge that. Acknowledge how far you've come. Because you're not the same person you were back then when that thing happened. You're not the same person you were even if something happened that you're not that satisfied with, even if it happened an hour ago, you're still not that person. You've learned, you've grown. And it's about also giving yourself grace, grace in all things. We're not going to do everything perfectly. I'm not going to do everything perfectly. I'm not going to say everything perfectly. I'm not going to know everything perfectly. I'm not going to deliver things perfectly. And it's just about knowing that that's okay. Because when that thing happens, when that mess up happens, it's about repeating to myself, repeating to yourself, I know better now. And now I can take that lesson and move forward. It's time for us to stop really allowing our minds to keep us limited, to keep us small, to stop it from going and going and going in all the negative ways. You got to interrupt that thought. You got to replace that thought with something else. You got to stop settling for what your mind wants you to believe. Because your mind is not developed to keep you safe. Your mind, not in rephrase. Your mind was developed to actually, yes, to keep you safe, but it's always on high alert. It's always looking for what could go wrong. It wasn't designed to just relax and be calm. That's what the meditation is. That's what doing all the tools, EFT, using everything that you've got and using that to let your mind know, let your body know, let your subconscious know that you are safe. In this moment, you are safe. In this moment, and you're always in a moment. This one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. So all this to say is like, I'm not entirely sure how this is all going to come together. I ask my guide all the time. Excuse me. I ask my guides all the time. I'm going to stop asking because they've decided they don't want to answer anymore. It's rude, but okay. But I see that showing up more on here is important. And that's all I know. And I'm just going to follow that. And we're going to see where that goes. I know astrology is a big part of it. It really is. I don't know how. And that's so frustrating because I want to know. I want to know the house. I want to know everything right now. I want to know the step by step. I want to know where we start. I want to know where the mill is. I know where we're going to end up. I want to know every single detail. And it is so frustrating that they won't tell me. I have an idea of what the end result is. I have an idea of where I'm going. Wow. Okay. I was going to say that's far in the future, but actually, I was like, yeah, that's not that far in the future. So where I am now to where I'm supposed to be, I don't see how that goes together. And that's frustrating. And I feel it's important for me to share that with you because maybe you're starting in your building in your connection or your, with your guidance. You're like, why can't I get the big answers? How come I don't know everything right now? It's because we're not meant to know. In some cases, if we knew, we'd be so scared, maybe we wouldn't take a step. Or maybe we're so fixated on the how of getting there, we'd miss all the opportunities, all the little hints along the way that connect us to get us there. So all I can do for me is just take the steps that they're giving to me right now and go for one forward. So all this to say, I thought this was gonna be a life update. I guess it kind of was. I'm not really sure. But there are times when you just have to follow you don't have to. You can choose to follow the guidance. Choose to believe, choose to listen, and see where it is. Because at the end of the day, let's make it fun and have fun. I do get frustrated, I'm not gonna lie, and I don't have fun when I'm like, ah. But in those moments, I'm just like, you know what, just let it go. I'm taking my hands off the wheel and allowing whatever comes to come. So for you, what is it that you feel called to do? Where do you feel that you want to know the step by step for everything? How can you just allow yourself to be like, okay, I know, understand, recognize, accept that you want to know everything right now. Just know that. That's where I am. And then be okay with not having to know. Be like, okay, your guys know where you're going, you know where you're going, or maybe you don't know, but you know that on this journey to get there, you're going to grow, you're going to learn. So when you get to that spot, all the lessons that you learn along the way, you'll be so much more prepared for that end goal. Because if I were to go to where I wanted to go right now, in all honesty, I'd be overwhelmed because I've never been there before. I'm not sure that I'd be able to handle all of that right now. But I see the steps. I have an idea of where I am right now and what the next step is. If that's continuing on that way, I will grow into the person that can handle where I'm going to be. I know this was all convoluted and intertwined. And I'm hoping that you pull from this that the path to get to where you want to go is not linear, and nor is it going to be laid out in a playbook. But if you're willing and you're open to get to where it is you ultimately want to be, which I think our whole goal here is to be happy. And how is that going to make you happy and getting to that goal? And you're open to it and you're just going along and know that, yes, there are going to be moments you're frustrated when you're like, ah, or you're just like, I don't get it. But keep going, keep following, keep asking, keep listening for what is the next step that I can take today? What is the next step that what's the message you have for me today? Where am I guided to go? Who am I guided to speak to? And just keep following and keep taking those little steps. And before you know it, something amazing is going to happen. So we're going to look back on this. I'm going to look back on this video and be like, wow, I remember when I was in that moment and I was struggling. I wasn't sure what the heck was going on or how I was going to get to where I see myself. And then I'm already here. And I hope that for you as well. So write in the comments below, if you're willing, what is it that you feel you're called to do? Even if you're scared to do it. And are you brave enough to go for it? To just trust, to let go, to take those steps? I am, and I hope that you're brave enough to come along with me. That's all I got. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. And know that you are worthy, you are deserving, and you are safe with yourself.